right, can you believe it? We are coming to the summer. It's the first um, seasonal node of the summer. We call it 立夏, the beginning of the summer. Or we're establishing the summer for you, okay? That's what that word means. And summertime, in terms of the energy, we all see that energy, yang and yin lines, how they go wax and waning. And this is exactly when yang is rising and accelerated in their growth. And to go with it, every living things also grow. And we all know this is the fire element, right, in the summer. And with that, that also means your heart is the one in charge, on duty, but also it's easily for this element to go either too overboard or too exhausted, okay? So those energetic signatures definitely would manifest in our physical body as well, right? We know the two corresponded in quite some interesting ways. We already established that with this group. So summer, what do we need to pay attention to? What is our biggest challenges? And we do know that nowadays with the AC, we probably do not sweat like a pig anymore. But still, if you do have outdoor activities and stay hydrated is quite important, because with the sweating, not only you're dehydrated, you also lose a lot of electrolyte. Okay. Also, sun at its peak in terms of extraviolet poisoning, in terms of the summer burn. Okay. And those actually, I do want to say that after many years of avoiding sunscreen because there are too many things I'm allergic to, I did have 2 summers of very good luck with these few products, especially after a few sunburn. The last one, they have an after sun repair. This one worked like a charm. It really takes the sting and hot burning feeling out of you. And they did use quite a bit essential oil there as the repair agent. Okay. And also, I was pretty happy finding out that their body spray, I was able to use it. And if it's not enough, and they have another stick, it's actually for both face and the body. And that's a 40 or 45, a little bit stronger and sticking to the skin better in the water. Another one I quite find it my new favorite now is this moisturizer with the, I think it's 28 SP. So that one, you can use it daily and it has a little bit whitening effect too. So for people like me, um, some of that and, spare me from using any foundations, which I don't like anyway, that mostly can clog the skins. So those two, stay hydrated and protect the skin, usually are really top 2 priorities. And especially after you find you lost a lot of fluids, okay? And I do have a little trick for you, which is this electrolyte, okay? Electrolyte, you could do natural ones, okay? For instance, if you eat, one of them is the watermelon in the afternoon around 3 or 4, or you eat oranges during that time, okay, will give you some. And I typically advise avoiding those sugar-coated water electrolytes because we do have better versions to take, especially those if they also try to balance your trace minerals to have a little bit, and that makes the hydration a lot more effective than just drinking a lot of water. Okay, and another trick and juggling down, just quickly guggling down a whole bottle of water is not as effective as sipping slower pace, because those will make it more likely to go into your cell than just passing through your kidneys and your bladders. Okay, so those are a few tricks. And also in terms of the cooling foods, cucumber is another one that you could use, especially in the afternoon, evening, and that could be also help hydrating the body. All right. And this is not the season to drink liquor, of course, because they tend to be, in our opinion, they are the damp heat, okay? And also they dehydrates you. So maybe a little bit beer, okay? And so go very light on alcoholic drinks, okay? And this is also the time I would say check your sunglasses. See if those are the kind who barely enlarge your pupils just by darken a shade, or they truly have a UVA, UVB protection. Okay, so those would be a few things to look out for. And summer also, I'm a big proponent to have some outdoor activity to allow you to sweat very elegantly, meaning you have little beads of sweat and you do it in a kind of a slow, consistent way instead of big dripping, streaming down kind of a sweat. And that's our way of dissipate the cold and dampness, especially the dampness. Also, this is the time to go bare feet on the grass or on some pebbles or some hot sand. Not only you get a lot of earth chi, that's another way we get the cold and dampness out of our body, okay, is by heating up our bare feet, okay. And that electrolyte I just told you about from the same brand, it tends to be kind of a sour, very, very strong, tart feeling. So typically I'll put it in this vegetable and fruit drink. That would balance it out. And if you're not severely dehydrated, that one sash, you could do it in 2 to 3 times. So just find a little glass jar, put them in, and that can gives you, probably three drinks out of it. Okay, so these are some summer tricks. Of course, if you want to use the summer to really grow muscles by amp up your exercise, then I definitely would recommend the collagen drink, because this triple peptide collagen help you build muscles and also the cell walls a bit more effectively than any other sources. So this one has 3, 4 different collagen type, okay? And of course, summer, we say it's the time to nurture the heart. Spring, we nurture the liver, and winter, we nurture the kidney. But which heart are we talking about? So I do want to give you 3 differentiations. One is, mostly in Western medicine, we recognized the physical heart, okay? And it's a pumping organ, okay? And it's regulating and circulating the blood and then bringing oxygen and nutrients to you, right? And we also think that the flow of the blood, whether it's very smooth or it's constricted, and that might also affect how hard your heart is pumping and may alter the blood pressure in order to send the blood to all the necessary places, okay? So that actually Western medicine gradually are recognizing that some of the mental and emotional burdens could affect the heart's functions. Okay, actually, without them telling us, we actually already know, right? When you're nervous and your heart can become nervous, anxious, you'll notice, your heartbeat could become different, right? And some people, when they get very anxious, they can have this panic attack and sometimes manifest in chest pains as well. So those were some of the physical symptoms. But in the Chinese medicine, which recognize not only the emotional, mental connection with the organs, but also there's an energetic signature of it, right? So beyond the pumping function, actually, we think this is the house or the seat of your conscious mind, consciousness, and your spirit. It's not in the brain, is actually we think is heart. So this heart-mind integration, it is a very, very hallmark of the Chinese medicine. Actually, they did not list brain as a separate organ in the organ system. Something to be thinking about, okay? And also we think the heart is the one responsible for the emotion and consciousness and cognition. Okay, we can debate about that, but it is how it categorizes the some of the manifestations in the metaphysical world. Okay, and also we recognize there are meridians, okay, connecting throughout, and especially it's connected to the small intestines. Okay, and the significance of that, I do want to point it out that, for instance, the artery blockages, okay? And if you are the kind who eats pretty late in the evening and you really, your body cannot metabolize that food well and ends up sitting and ends up going to the small intestine, not being able to be well, absorbed, but rather becoming a source of chronic inflammation. And that inflammation, the Chinese medicine consider, is the connecting corresponding reason for the inflammation in the blood vessels, in the especially the heart coronary arteries. Okay, so in that sense, to be more mindful in what you eat in the evening could end up helping your vessels and your coronary health. Okay, and also we think the heart's healthiness will manifest in your face and the tongue. Okay, let's say your face, the good part of it, good chunk of it is a nice white fair color, and only in the cheek area it's a bit rosy. That usually indicates your heart function or your blood is plentiful with your heart pumping very healthily. But if you do not have that rosy huge at all, but the whole face is just paper white, and that's usually read as an indication your heart chi or your heart power is deficient. Okay, and then that going on for a while, you ended up in the very, very kind of a dark and ashy kind of color. And that actually means the deficiency already caused the lack of blood returning to the heart. And they are definitely blockages already. And if you have very, very red face, the whole face is red as a red cloth, and typically we'll say your blood pressure probably is already pretty high and your heart fire is running out of control. So just from the face, okay. And also for heart fire to go very rampant, let's say, you drank a lot and you didn't sleep well, and maybe the next day you'll find the tip of your tongue very red, okay, and almost sensitive with a little burning sensation. And also the lower gum may be swollen and hurtful. And those are all indications of the heart fire going too excessive. All right. Now, the energetic heart is not unique to the Chinese medicine system. So in the yoga system, for instance, the Ayurveda too, they recognize this heart center, this heart chakra. And it's, regularly it's red in color, but when people in love, supposedly you would turn into pink. All right. And it's the seat of your love, your connection with loved ones. And then we are big hearted, we say you'll be ready to forgive. If you're big hearted, also, you're more likely to be very accepting of yourself and of others. And that can translate into compassion as well. Okay. On the other hand, if your heart is closed or heart center is closed, you are very easily turn into resentment and anger, and you would have this apathetic feelings towards others, especially their suffering. And also that can turn inward into a self-blaming, a guilty-ridden kind of a feeling too. Okay, and when you have that pattern for a long time. And we actually believe, they may have similar, huh? We actually believe a lot of the nodules in the breast area and also the shallow breathing, the chest tightness can be related to either the blockages or the very restrictive type of feeling where your heart naturally desires to be. It's the opposite, okay? And also we think this is the energy hub where you can, transform from me, I, to actually we and us. Because for you to love someone and love in a big way, you have to be able, right, to extend that love from yourself to other people. So this is literally the bridge between the lower three chakra, where it's mostly survival centered, to now it's more wisdom and spiritual pursuit. Okay, because your throat and your third eye and your crown chakra is about recognizing your authentic self, being able to see the true meaning of your existence, and finally have your crown chakra being able to connect to the higher wisdom, right? So that system also, I think, has quite a bit overlap or correspondence with the TCM, Chinese medicine's uh, heart explanation. And of course, in the Buddhism and in Taoism, we also believe the heart, there is a spirit guiding every organ. So there's also a heart spirit. And we believe that heart spirit actually is your true self. It's the true super consciousness or super id, okay, not your instinctual existential kind of a self anymore, not that ego anymore. Okay, so that heart, when we say cultivate the heart, 修心, the Chinese word literally means 修心, cultivating the heart, we really refer to, we cultivate that heart spirit or spirit of the heart. Okay, and so in that sense, we literally have three different layers of meaning for the simple word heart, 心, okay? And the 心 word itself look like it's a little shape of the heart with blood pumping out of it, okay? So also when we say center yourselves, we literally also means a center in the heart, okay? In that heart. So with that, we know summertime, we are, in more likeliness to be having excessive heart fire. Okay, it's already overworking on duty in overdrive anyway. And then the weather is also hot outside. That can easily make us a bit more irritable and short fused, right? And these are some of the manifestations, okay? You have the red tongue tip, dry mouth, palpation easily, okay? And those could be the physical heart already experiencing imbalances and blockages or restrictive uh, flow and circulation, okay? Emotional, you'll find, for whatever reason, it's just harder to go to sleep, okay? And you're a little bit more short fused, right? Talking too much definitely is excessive heart fire, all right? And those, when we say that, we actually could use the a few things to help. And of course, for me and for us Qigong practitioners, I do want you to bear in mind, and the essential oils contain a kind of energy that's so light that can flow in the air. That's why you can smell it. So it's borderline between the smallest particle of a matter and energy, pure energy. It's really energetic form, all right? So to turn that physical and chemical energy to nurture our life force, it's one of the most direct one. It's even more directer than eating food, because food is still bigger molecule. You still have to break it down and absorb it, and you become qi, right? And this one, you're directly inhaling qi. Even you go through the skin, you immediately go to your bloodstream. So you get the qi in the most direct way. So for instance, the heart palpitation and the irritability, try a little bit of frankincense every day first, okay? And then with a little bit of sandalwood, see if it calm down, make you really be able to calm down that heart. All right. And for sleep issues, I would definitely try the blend Serenity. And um, if you like the lavender a bit more, you can put more drops in it. If you really need some calming, especially for children, you can add a little bit Roman chamomile to it. All right. And if your liver needs to join into the action, a little bit geranium into the Serenity, you can just make it into a little like a perfume. Every time when you feel some irritability, put it on the major arteries and vein on your neck, your temple, and also the sternum. Okay, our heart chakra or second dantian. All right. But if with that excessive fire, you also feel overly tired, then put a little bit balance on the bottom of your feet. This is also the season to use the bitterness to clear the fire. Okay. In terms of the um, plants, you may use clary sage or petroli or blue tansy. But the best food in the summer, can you guess? Any of those vegetables that has a bitter taste, and the combination of it, the bitterest of all, is what we call the bitter melon. And summertime, dead heat, you just find that bitter melon in its greenest form, cut it open, get the seeds out and chop them into slices, and then just blanch them through hot water very, very quickly. Either throw them into salad, and for me, sometimes when I feel that red tip of my tongue, I will get a whole bitter melon, almost as big as a cucumber, okay? And put a little teeny little vinegar and little sesame oil. And I actually don't want to make it sweet. I just want that bitterness. Usually I throw a little bit of cilantro in it to kind of make it a bit more fragrant. And cilantro is a kind of a bitter too. And that just one bitter melon down in the evening or in the afternoon, and next morning, typically, your tongue would be no feeling at all. Okay, no sensitive feeling at all. So these are some of the ways to deal with um, uh, the heart fire. Now, the TCM pattern really what it meant is some of them, it's really meant you have a blazing, rampant heart fire. It's a true fire, okay? Another possibility of the fire is your heart yin, your heart juice. Let's say you sweat so much. And now you don't have enough fluids. You don't have enough yin to counterbalance it. So you show up as an empty heat. When that's the case, I would use a bit more sandalwood and a bit more balance, okay? And not just the other kind, because those two will give you a little bit boost first, okay, before it's suppressing or dredging the fire out, okay? So so gradually, I actually would like you to start making this a way of your thinking, that we're using nature's energy to balance our body's energy. So make the macrocosmos energy to come and just your microcosmic energy. Okay. I consider this absolutely energy exchange, really, not really a drug. I wouldn't even want to go that way. So to say it in the chemical format or chemical compound form, really, I think you are talking down its power. You really restricted its power. All right. And of course, for the deficiency, I would say most of the people in the modern world, deficiency is really their true worries. Okay, even if their heat and excessiveness are kind of due to deficiency, you caused blockages and you caused the excessive fire. Okay, so for a lot of us, that's the case. So the boosting up for the heart becomes very important too. Okay, and I listed a few oils here. And if you're already too dry, okay, and I would replace ginger with cardamom, okay, with cardamom. And then these oils, just by diffusing them in the morning, okay, can help quite a bit to get the qi going. Of course, put them in your palm, do the deep inhaling. Actually, I'm going to do some right now. To do the deep inhaling, it's another one. And of course, can you apply it on the heart meridian? Absolutely. The ones I told you, the frankincense with the melissa, and then with a little bit of lavender, and that for dealing with the blockages, dealing with even some of the angina, the pain, put it on your inner gate, put it under the arm, put it on the sternum itself. All of those, you do it every day and would help. If this deficiency gets so out of control, you can even put the oil under your tongue directly. Frankincense, you can do that. Melissa, you can do that. And even lavender, you can do that. Okay. And if you don't want to risk putting too much under your tongue, because depending on how blocked you are, and the taste can change, the pungentness and the spiciness and the tartness can change. So what you can do also is just put drops in the middle of your palm. Remember, that's Lao Gong point. That's a pericardium point. And then lick with your tongue, which is the outlet of your heart's meridian. So both method could be very quickly release this constrictive feeling, little bit chest pain, and by also pressing the inner gate, and that can release it. But why do we wait until then? So these ones, if you do have the deficiency, typically it show up as tiredness, and also when you lie down, that's almost like there's a heavy blanket on your chest. Okay, a lot of the deficiency would show up as insomnia as well. Okay, so let's use these to actually boost it up. Now, there are two blends there that's, I would say, really good to use. One is the citrus bliss, especially when you have very anxious or very down feeling, okay? And the citrus bliss can help you that. And when you have this total apathy and disinterested in most of anything, especially in the press of heat, that motivate can really help you a little bit. Okay. So also you can use it for your, let's say it's a big day. You have a lot of challenging tasks. You can also do that. Then out of all of this, the one I didn't put here at all is actually rose. Rose is, in terms of the vibration, closest to your heart in love frequency. Okay. So the rose on the chest, in your lower back, close to your tailbone, and also occasionally on your belly button and your womb, they really nurture the women's energy so well. Okay. And so that's another one you could use when you have a major task to go. You want to boost your confidence and emanate bigger love out there. Then rose will be a good one to add on to the motivate. Okay. And if for you, the heart deficiency is also due to weakness of the kidney. So the two of them cannot support each other so well. You can also try in the season, put a little bit black pepper on your lower back, okay, to help the kidney as well. So make the water and the fire more in harmony. Now, one of them, when our heart is deficient, we do have memory, poor memory, and more easily to get a down mood. Okay, so for that, the rosemary can really boost the heart energy up to the way it goes to the head, and that can improve your mental acuities. Okay, so that one, the one I wouldn't use too much when you have high blood pressure. Okay, so use too much of the rosemary, tend to, but a little bit is fine. All right. Now, the best way to calm down the heart actually is meditation. So summertime, and when we couldn't sleep so well, so quickly, and a little bit bedtime meditation, or better yet, meditation during the heart hours are really, really, really heart nurturing act. So I'm going to pause here and then restart the meditation. And that way, when you listen to it, you can get the meditation on its own. All right. So let me just pause and start recording again. And